Welcome to the WolfPack Sports Wire, a podcast from the athletic department at Whitefield Academy. Whitefield Academy is a Christ-centered pre-K through 12 college preparatory school located in Smyrna, Georgia. On this show, we highlight our hardworking coaches and student athletes who are excelling in and out of competition.
And that will be it. Fittingly, the ball is in the hands of Ruben Clarkson, and that will do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Private School Division GHSA State Championship, Whitefield Soccer.
What a great day for Whitefield Academy. You just heard the sounds of Whitefield boys soccer pulling home a state championship with a 1-0 win over Hebron Christian at St. Pius on May 12th. The win capped off a historic 21-1-1 season. I'm Jack Hunter, and on today's episode of the WolfPack Sports Wire, you'll hear from Head Coach Steve Hellier and seniors Parker Shim, Titus Messner, and Cole Rabalais. No one on the Pack sideline could take a breath until the clock hit zeros and keeper Ruben Clarkson had the ball in his arms. The defense turned Hebron away twice on corner kick opportunities late to secure the 1-goal win. After the horn sounded, a sense of relief hit the team. Since the program's last state championship in 2017, they have had dominant seasons, but have been bounced 3 times in the Final Four and twice in the state championship game. Last year, the team lost 1-0 in the title match. For Captain Titus Messner, those games stuck in his head.
Yeah, I think for me, the first thing was just like relief, because it's something we've wanted for a long time, and last year we got really close. And the soccer team, we always talk about how it's in God's hands, and so the first thing I did was just thank God for that, because we know that it's all up to him. And so that was a huge relief for me, kind of finally be able to relax and just being able to celebrate with the team after the hard win.
Whitefield scored the decisive goal in the 24th minute, but that was not the first big moment of the match. 9 minutes into the game, Whitefield drew a penalty in the box that led to a Parker Shim penalty kick, but he blasted it over the crossbar. Instead of letting that dictate the rest of his game, Shim bounced back. 15 minutes later, he took a throw-in from the far touchline at about the edge of the attacking third. He rifled the throw into the box where Jack Raymer went up and headed it in past the keeper.
Right, obviously that sucked missing that, but it made me play harder, I feel like, and I knew we had to get one, so just gave Jack a chance and he put it away.
Coming here. Well done in the area, headed down and headed in! And the Wolfpack jump out in front.
The match took a similar pattern to the Pack's 1-0 win over the Atlanta International School in its semifinals. Shim missed a PK early in the match, but it led to a momentum shift. He delivered the game-winning assist later in the contest to propel the Pack to the title game. For Coach Steve Hellier, his seniors' response to adversity confirmed to him the growth that Shim had made.
I'm going to say that if that had happened earlier on in his career, that he probably would have checked out of the game, but he didn't. And again, he more than overcame a disappointment. He forgot it right away. He put it behind him. What he did was he made a good choice after a disappointing situation, and that just speaks highly of his character and his maturity over the last 4 years.
And for Jack Raymer, the sophomore who headed it in, a similar play just 2 games before led to a fractured nose. The injury occurred in overtime in the second round against GAC, where he went up for a header and flicked it to Cash Peterson for the game-winning goal. Raymer showed no hesitancy to play in the state championship game and to go back to a strength of his in order to get the team ahead.
That's Jack Raymer. That's Jack Raymer's God-given personality. He is going to, when he broke his nose, he was like, no, nothing is going to keep me from finishing out this playoff run. And to have players like that, you just lift your head up and say, thank you, God, for these gifts of these young men.
The Pack posted clean sheets in all 4 of their playoff games and allowed just 12 goals in 23 matches this season. A strong backline in front of keeper Ruben Clarkson battened down the hatches when the team needed it most. Cole Rabalais scored a team-leading 21 goals this year, but he has no problem looking to the team's defense as the key to success.
We have an elite back 4, and if you want to beat us, you got to beat our back 4 multiple times and then score on our unbelievable goalie. This year we really worked on talking between players, and it really helps on defense, man marking, crossing runners. They did a really good job of passing people off, and I think that's a huge reason on why we didn't get scored on.
Whitefield beat Hebron in penalty kicks earlier in the year after being knotted at 1 at the end of regular time. The defense has stepped up all year, and Messner knew it would need to be the same in the biggest game of the year.
And so even though it was a super close game and went to PKs, we kind of had the confidence of these guys are only going to beat us by defending against us really heavily. And so if we don't give up a goal, that's going to be really important for us, especially early on.
Many teams would turn to tactics as the underlying reason behind a win. But as you'll hear from Shim and then Messner, that wasn't necessarily the main focus.
It started at the beginning of the season. We were doing all the conditioning, so we're very well conditioned. We worked throughout the whole game, outworked them, and I think that was the biggest component, is just outworking our opponent and physicality, and that's how we came out.
I think our big thing this year has been we've got a lot of good athletes who really work hard the whole game, whether that's even forwards getting back on defense or people tracking back. That's really our strength.
And their coach, he saw it.
If I'm looking out on the field and I'm saying, wow, what do I admire about these guys? It is just the pure heart and grit that they play with every moment.
For Hellier, that conditioning focus went back to 2017 and the team that won the state championship that year.
2017, we weren't a really good soccer team, but we worked so hard on getting and trying to improve the things we could improve, and that one of them was just fitness. We ran and ran and ran and ran and ran to the point where my son threatened to quit the team that one night in a conversation we had. In 2018, we were probably one of the best teams in the entire state. And I lost my focus on the fitness and the conditioning and that kind of thing, and depended a little bit more on just skill and the fact that we were just a really good team. And I think that also showed as a negative in the fact that we lost in the Final Four with 2 seconds left in the game. Last year, we played AIS in the region game, and I felt like we've got to somehow close the gap between their technical ability and our intangibles. So from that point on, we really focused on getting in shape and working hard. But coming into this year, I was recommitted to us being 100% the fittest team on the field, no matter who we played. I was going to make sure that one of the things we can control is our fitness, and we were going to be the fittest team on the pitch every time we stepped on it.
This team certainly had a great focus throughout the season, winning their last 20 matches. In high school sports, it's common for senior-heavy teams to decline over the course of the season when senior events and graduation ceremonies get closer. That was not the case with this team.
I think we were so determined. We'd had so much heartbreak in the past that no one wanted to experience that again. We also really like playing for one another, and just love giving each other everything we got. I
have to say that for the most part, the quality and character of this senior class goes so beyond what 99% of the senior classes are across the state and wherever else. These guys, just such high quality, and it was their character, their choices, their decisions they made. We can't control that as coaches. We can't control that as adults. We can't even control that as parents. But these young men made the choice to be focused throughout the year and to keep their eye on the purpose of the game, knowing that it is in the hands of the Lord, but doing absolutely everything they could to be as prepared as they could for this playoff run. And it was clearly noticeable throughout the playoffs.
The path to get to the title game was not easy. AIS had eliminated Whitefield from the playoffs the last 3 seasons, including last year in the title game. Whitefield beat the Eagles in the regular season this year for the first time since 2018. Everyone circled the semifinal rematch on their calendars.
It's been 4 years coming. We lost in the semifinals freshman, sophomore year, and then 1-0 game in the state championship junior year. So to finally, I know everyone's been saying it, but get over the hump of AIS, we beat them twice this year. That was really the biggest game of our season, Final Four. And then we knew if we could finally get over them that we could take the championship. We knew that we were really good this year, and I think it really helped having the coaches pour into us. And, they would tell us, unlike previous years, they would remind us how good we are and that we can play with anyone. And I think the confidence boost from them really helped us, find ourselves during the big moments.
This team will be remembered for capturing a state title, for beating AIS twice after not beating them in 8 years, for all of the records that they set. But for this team, there's a much higher purpose past the goal of winning a state title that the team was playing for this year and will remember.
I'm going to remember our goal and purpose. We had a goal of winning the state championship, but our purpose, we were all aligned with our purpose, and our purpose was to bring glory to God in everything we did. And I think it's hard. Sometimes you can intertwine your goal and purpose, but we kept them very distinct from each other because we knew what our goal was, but we also knew who we were playing for.
There's no difference between winning a game like that and losing a game like that, except you don't get to hold a trophy up. It doesn't change the relationships. It does not change the hard work and the effort and the striving towards a specific purpose, which is honoring the Lord in everything you do. And then it's just the object of the game is to win. And so when you win, it does make it a lot funner, yeah, but it doesn't take away if you don't win. Doesn't take away from everything that's put into it.
The Pack graduate 13 seniors this year, all leaving with a ring, but lifelong relationships and memories to go along with it. I'm Jack Hunter, and we'll catch you next time on The Wire.